Says.
Warte kurz. Okay.
Digga, ich bin ein bisschen gerade bricked up, ja. Ja, bin ich schlecht. Ich glaube, dicke Müde, ja.
Hört er mich alles überhaupt? Hallo?
Ja, man kann mich hören. Passt. So. Jetzt wird gezockt. Sodale.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Alles gut, Bruder. Dieses kennen wir schon. Okay. So.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Drück mal auf die Wand. Was ist eine Wand? Surname exit. Ja.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ja, komm.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, steht was Neues? Money is morning. The morning. Money is in the. Is everything. Money is. Breakfast. Money is. Nee, money. Trips.
Here's the door, just go.
Ah, okay, danke, perfekt. So.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Was geht lang?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Das ist doch diese Spitzen mit diesen Spitzen, ne?
But here was the proof. The heart of the
Es
operation.
gibt teure davon
Controls
von dieser Marke.
labeled
Das
with
ist das Ding.
emotions. Happy or sad
Wahrscheinlich so ein
or
Hoodie.
content.
80.
Walking, eating,
Aber war so
working.
runtergesetzt oder
All
war
of
das
it
der Preis?
monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his
Willst du's mal
past
öffnen?
began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he
Du hast dir in den
would
Duft gestellt.
dismantle the controls once and for all.
Das da? Mein Controller. Fuck, was? Ich habe nicht aufgepasst. Ja, ich kenne das. Wenn es ums Düfte geht, lass dich nie wieder von Ben beraten.
Hat das die erste Aussage dazu?
Ich meine, es ist ein guter Duft, aber es gibt viel bessere von der Marke. Das ist das Problem.
Okay.
Das ist einfach nur ein Zitrusduft. Wirklich.
Nächstes Mal nehme ich dich mit.
Nein, nimm mich nächstes Mal nicht mit, aber ich kann dir einfach sagen, was du nehmen solltest. Es macht halt keinen Sinn, so teure Düfte zu holen, wenn du nicht mit der Marke irgendwas anfangen kannst. Zum Beispiel, ich kaufe mir meine teuren Düfte nur von Armani, weil ich die Marke auch mag. Alle anderen Düfte hole ich mir nur, weil die gut riechen.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Doch, hab ich.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's
Ich weiß
that?
nicht, ich hatte es auf meinem PC gehabt.
You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Cool.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died
Die
again.
Fresse, du Peach.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh! Was eine Maschine. Hä? Okay.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do.
Keine Ahnung, ja.
Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Okay, und? Ja, gut. Was war hier mit der Wand? Was war hier gemeint?
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Ja, oder? Die muss doch, ja. 422, das ist mein Office. Ich wünschte, es gäbe eine Zoom-Funktion, ja. Es gibt eine Möglichkeit, wie man hier sich so rausbuggen kann. Und das ist auch ein Ende eigentlich. Ich muss sehen, ob ich es irgendwie hinkriege. Ich krieg's ja irgendwie hin. Was ist hier mit der Pflanze? Nee. Ja?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Ja, Mann.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Ja, ich bin zufrieden damit. Was? Hä? Ach so. Ja.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton.
Tarn, Bruder, reicht doch ja auch. Ja, Neustadt.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Ja, sehr hell. Oof, 420. Da kommt noch.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
ganz schnell vorbei.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
Ich liebe diesen Raum.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Was passiert eigentlich, wenn ich hier runterfliege? Das ist doch eigentlich auch ein Ende. Wie kann man sich mäßig durchbacken? Das haben wir schon erledigt. Digga, da unten ist einfach eine Tür. Ja, komm, scheiß auf.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Danke.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ja.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof that he was human.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Wen?
She's been waiting.
Wo? Creepy.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Was?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife? Who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Zeig mal.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Was?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Oder ist es ein Arschraub? Bitte drück Dreieck. Nein. Warum soll ich Dreieck drücken?
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Naja. Ich hab Jack Bescheid.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Oh mein Gott, das hier wird so
Down
ein
one
Büro.
path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Soll ich das Spiel neu starten?
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Bitte
And I
stirb.
tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ja, ja.
And here it was, the lounge. What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a room. What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room.
Ja.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nö.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Nö.
Please,
Diesen
stop
falschen
trying to
Stopp,
make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Fick die.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to... Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone?
Ja.
That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Was?
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Ja, gut, danke.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, If you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Huh?
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Schade.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
That's right.
We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Ja. Das Schild neu. Ja. Okay, was mach ich jetzt hier? Hä? Warum bin ich jetzt wieder hier? Okay, dann laufen wir wieder zurück.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Yeah,
Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Burp.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Ja, okay.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer?
Okay,
What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to.
Nein.
I have to.
Nein.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. Okay. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. Yeah. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Yeah. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. Okay. All right. Yeah. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, diesmal die linke Tür. Hey, der Raum ist intakt.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Rip friends. Gym. Not. Ich brauche halt Passwort, ja. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
Okay, wir reden
He
rein.
drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Shark 115.
Stanley spoke the code.
Nice.
Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem?
Yeah, man.
You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not going to do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
Das Ende?
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me?
Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Ja, so sieht's aus.
That's all right.
Digga, das sieht auch wirklich Arsch
I'll
aus. Ja,
wait for you
einfach
to decide what's the
Remote-Modell.
right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
So, jetzt spielen wir mal den neuen Content.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Keine Ahnung.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Nö. Hier, new Content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Whoa!
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Digga. Schick, schick. They back to dust. They are back. Jawohl, Google Kalenders, Google Notes. Ah ja, das ist Google Present sogar. Jawohl. New content is out. New content part 2 is out in. New hotness. Aha. Old plus busted. Aha. Wow. Crazy.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
New Content? Das ist eine schlaue Idee. New Features.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Button that says the name of the player that isn't playing the game. Oh, crazy. Kannst du mal so sagen?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Ja, Mann. Sag meinen Namen. Mansur.
Jim.
Was?
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature.
Ich
Just
bin
play
Jim.
along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
My Jim.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
Ich bin
If
Jim.
so, then please step forward and press the button.
Wird gemacht, Chef.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again, do it again.
Okay, ich mach mal.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money.
Ja.
Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Ja, gut. Noch einmal.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim.
Ja, hast recht,
I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
Gut, dass du noch einmal trinken konnte.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work
You
of
heard
finishing
Jim
this
in the
feature.
game. Okay.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Na gut. Free, new and easy trophy. Ich krieg eine Trophäe! Was? Das Stanley Parable 2? Was steht da? Was? Results Bucket? Oder warum? Ach, egal. Unendliches Loch. Gratis Trophäe. Ja, und es ist die gratis Trophäe. free trophy. Get you right now. Pull the lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps. It just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you.
Oh,
it's as simple as that.
Dann her mit dem Teil.
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Bitte funktioniert. Ah, ich hab mich richtig gebaitet, ja. Tamam, dann nicht.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Hier, Infinite Hole. Warte mal, steht hier nicht, dass es funktioniert? It just works? Ah, ja. Jetzt gleich. Please no screenshot. Okay.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Oh, gute Frage, ja. Das ist ja wahrscheinlich.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Was fragst du mich, du Peach? Jawohl.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No. No, I've made my decision, we're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Okay, ja. No. Oder was ist das für ein Arschmerch, ja? Ich meine, das ist cool. I see the next content ist okay. Ich meine, das geht noch. This shirt is the best new feature. The end is never the end again. Nah. Der hätte diese Zahl hier machen müssen zu einem guten T-Shirt oder dieses hier oben. Okay. Das kommt vom Spiel, ne? Ne, hier waren wir. Ja, Bruder, wo ist jetzt diese Infinite Hole, no homo?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Tun wir.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort,
Lass
even
raus.
in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, wirklich?
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, geil, ist auf den Eimer.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Ja, wenigstens haben wir den Exit gefunden. Okay.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy
jump cycle.
reward for it.
Oh, scheiße, ich hab meine Sprünge schon
You know
aufgenutzt.
what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Ja, leider.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Oha, gibt's mir nicht so mindestens 10 Sprünge? Komm, lass mal schauen. Nö. Bruder, was ist das für eine Skizze, ja? Infinite surrounding area rim opening. Bruder, ich habe keine Ahnung, was mit so einer Stadt anfangen soll.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Ja gut.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Nö.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things. Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited. Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Ja,
Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh.
Ey, war kürzer, ne?
Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Yeah.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Ich nicht.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Ja.
Well, there it is.
Huh?
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure?
Ja. Geht
Well, I
nicht
mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
Tun wir.
Still nothing?
Nö.
Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Pam, Heidi, verpiss dich. Ich habe hier meinen Spaß meines Lebens. Geht es tiefer runter? Doch. Ändere deine Wahrnehmung.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer. You.
Was geht ab, ja? Änder dich selber.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley!
Huh?
Oh, good, you're awake.
Yeah,
It
so
seems
yeah.
you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Ja, hast recht.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Willst du mich verarschen? Wurde doch mal Zeit, Land. Okay.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Wir haben jetzt, glaube ich, alle Features soweit durch. Gehen ins Loch. Hier, lass uns mal ein Board anschauen, wo alle Features aufgezählt werden. Eigentlich würde ich jetzt gerne zum Exit gehen. Hier haben wir alles. Okay. Jump Cycle, the Map, Free Trophy. The Button, ja, haben wir. Merch haben wir. Setting the World Champion. Was? Okay. Hier sind wir. Ist die 5. B12. B2. Das ist der okay. B3. Office. Epic. Nee, scheiß drauf. Warte, lass mal nochmal nachschauen. You here. Ja. Okay, hier ist Infinite Hole, warte mal. Infinite Hole ist das. Nee. Wo ist hier Infinite Hole? K. Wo wird hier K angezeigt? K wird nirgendwo angezeigt. A9. Was ist A9? Komm, lass uns mal einmal schauen kurz. Okay, warte, hier ist der Name. B. Okay, das ist B. Und wenn wir an B, auf die andere Seite von B, Merch. Ach so, ja doch, das haben wir auch schon. Ne, dann gehen wir jetzt raus. Fertig. Finito.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to?
Yep.
Ready to move on now?
Jo. Das kann ja aber den einmal nicht geben, ne? Oh, gut schön.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
Yeah.
Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Bruh.
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
Ja,
Okay, never mind.
Kopierbar.
Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Tusch. Zeig mir das neue Spiel. Oh.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Jawohl, mein Eimer.
Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you?
Yeah,
the
sure.
aura of jealousy, it's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
Nein.
I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over.
No.
Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
Doch.
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I'd never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Fickt euch. Das ist mein Eimer.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all. Here we go. There.
Oh ja, das meint.
Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take our hike, broom closet,
Ja,
with all
fickt
your
euch.
meandering philosophical diatribes
Stanleys,
about the nature of cleaning supplies and their
Property of
relationship
Stanley.
to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Hier, guck, meins. Seht ihr's? Pisst euch.
All right, I've got a second sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate. You see?
Ja.
I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
Ja.
There really
Ich seh's,
is a
ich seh's.
wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Hier seht ihr das? Das ist ein Eimer. Und das ist Property of Stanley. Ihr müsst-
You know what? I could take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us the silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in.
Yeah.
I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Tom, wir gehen weiter.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried.
Yeah.
So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Wird gemacht, Chef. Kann ich mit Wasser füllen? Nö.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he
Wow.
shared with the
Ich hab
bucket
einen
that he
Eimer,
didn't
auf
notice
dem
the
ein Sticker
keypad
von einem Eimer
behind the
drauf
boss's
ist.
desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the
Das ist
keypad was
auf Deutsch übersetzt mein
2845.
Comfort, mein Beruhigungseimer, damit ich mich beruhige.
Ein Beruhigungseimer.
Ja, so sieht's aus.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
5.
But Stanley
Du musst es
guessed the
ausspielen,
correct code by
ja.
sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical
Ich brauche
explanation.
noch einen Dummy. Du kannst maximal nur 2,5 Stunden mit der Kamera streamen. Ja, das ist schon ziemlich Arsch.
Another miniature
Ja, aber ich
Stanley
glaube, so ein Dummy
figurine.
kostet auch nur
This,
25 Euro.
there
So ist
really
nicht,
must be a
ist der Rede
snappier
wert.
name for these things. What
Musst du mal
about
besorgen.
mini-stands? Stanley figs? Or
Nein, geh mal
what
her.
about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that.
Ja,
Another
einmal mein Akku und-
Stanlerine under your belt.
In meinem Kinderschlafzimmer noch. Ich habe sogar den machen lassen, tatsächlich. Für dich sogar, fällt mir gerade ein. Ich gebe dir einfach den Ersatz. Wenn ich ihn finde. In der Theorie sollte das hier der hier sein.
Okay, wo ist das?
Kannst du auch eigentlich bei dir lassen. Warum habe ich denn meinen Schlüssel in der Hand? Ach ja. Ja, bring mal eine schwarze Dose. Ja. Willst du ein Spaßgetränk haben?
Schon mal eins, hey.
Weil ich habe im Kühlschrank noch eine schwarze Dose. Digga, ich habe mir 2 Energies reingepfiffen und ich fühle mich immer noch müde. Heute, ich ging auf der Arbeit ein bisschen crashy, ja. Die haben so dumme Witze gemacht, dass ich über meinen eigenen Schatten gestolpert bin. Ich habe keine Ahnung. Nein, ich habe es gar nicht gecheckt. Nein, habe ich noch nicht. Ich brauche die Infektionsmittel.
The elevator raced downward,
Ich brauche
plummeting towards an unknown
Ich
fate.
traue dem Scheiß nicht, da ist kein Alkohol
It would
drin.
be all Stanley could do to keep himself
Beide nicht,
together,
nein.
if not for the bucket.
Ja, aber
Soothing
beide haben
him,
keinen Alkohol drin. Ich habe
comforting
mich so
him,
durchgelesen. Ja.
reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he
Ich
would
traue
be
es schon,
alright.
aber
The bucket is here for you, Stanley.
ich will etwas
Everything will
nutzen,
be fine.
womit ich vertraut bin. Und das ist nicht das.
Oder wo du riechst und weißt.
Ja.
Check schon.
Stanley and the
Ich werde
bucket
mir
walked
irgendwann aus
straight
dem DM
ahead
oder
from
was,
the large
wenn ich
door
irgendwann
that
sag,
read,
auf jeden Fall
Mind
nächste Woche.
Control Facility.
Fuck, warum bin ich hier? Ach ja. Willst du mal wenigstens noch bleiben, bis ich den Level hier durchgespielt habe mit dem Eimer? Bleib mal noch hier kurz. Mein Eimer!
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Wann hat der Philipp eigentlich Feierabend, ja? Und der hat kein Bike, oder wie darf ich das verstehen? Ihr wollt einfach nur gemeinsam nach Hause fahren.
Ja, wenn man bei
The monitors jumped to life, and
Aus
Stanley nearly
Juxendollerei oder
dropped the
gibt's einen
bucket in
Grund?
shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
Ja, fair enough. Ich habe
The bucket
letztens
had
mit
never
dem
seen
einfach
anything
radikal
like this,
eine
and
Stunde
it very
telefoniert,
nearly
was ich nie
burst
mache.
into tears
Das
as
war
Stanley
die Woche
cradled
sogar.
it gently, reassuring it
Am
that
Donnerstag.
everything would be fine.
Ich hab gepennt, was willst du? Weil ich war.
Jawohl, Digga. Direkt so grumpy sein.
Der war abgefuckt an den Tag. Charlotte angerufen hat, ich ging auf die Reihe. Und dann kam
Ich will nur angemerkt haben, ich bin live, ne? Das, also wenn ihr jetzt
Was the
abbrechen wisst, ist
bucket
kein
under the
Witz.
mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in
Geh mich
Stanley's
auf die Eier lang.
No! He
Nein!
screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone
Die wollen, dass
else's
ich meinen Eimer
control.
hier lasse.
Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter.
Ich drück den Eimer
His
fest
one
gegen meine
friend in
Brust.
the entire world.
Das ist-
At
Und wenn,
this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
was? Hier.
But here was the proof. The
Bleib doch hier,
heart
bis
of
es
the
zu Ende ist.
operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Ja.
For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two
Will's ausstellen?
best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Ja, Mann. Danke, Eimer. Na, komm, mach wir. Ja, der Eimer meint, ich soll es ausmachen, ja.
Stanley and
und-
the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
Was?
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
Nein!
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the
Die wollen nicht,
bucket.
dass einmal entkommt.
No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Was nicht? Ah. Guck, hier ist mein Eimer. Wir haben es
All of his
freigeschaltet. Wo ist mein
co-workers
Eimer?
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Warte mal, vielleicht hier. Da ist mein Eimer. Okay.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Digga, weißt du, wie lange ich gebraucht habe, um ihn freizuschalten? Schau dir mal diese Spielzeit an.
Nur für den Bucket?
Digga, ich hab, wo sieht man das? Warte mal. Ich muss einmal hier komplett raus. Und dann hier sieht man es, glaube ich, irgendwo. 4 Trophäen, ja. Eigentlich hätte ich 2 Stunden musste ich dafür spielen, ja.
Willst du damit sagen, Bruder, einmal Kamera wechseln, Akku?
Ja, also ich werde jetzt oder so jetzt aufgehen, weil ich muss zu meiner Oma.
Check.
Deswegen, ich würde es jetzt laden lassen. Warte mal kurz auf mich, ja. Wir können schauen, ob das Ding funktioniert. Sag du mir mal, der Schlüssel, den ich dir gegeben habe. Das Schlüssel.
Die das heute Abend da?
Ja, also, ja, ich weiß nicht, yo.
Check. Einfach gucken, so.
Wieso, ist was geplant? Weil tendenziell gehe ich eigentlich will ich heute mal zu meinem Onkel, der hat heute Geburtstag.
Oh ja, dann geh, mach.
Tendenziell, ich weiß nicht, wie es bei ihm aussieht.